हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ते सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So Bhagwan is describing the Daivi and Asuri Sampatti in this chapter. After giving the Lakshanas, the 26 characteristics of a Daivi person born with a Daivi Sampatti, Bhagwan now elaborately describes the person with Asuri Sampatti. Such people are filled with lots of negative qualities. There is this basic ignorance of their own self, because of which they consider their own body as their own self. They don't have faith in the existence of Ishvara. They don't believe in the law of dharma. They consider the whole world is propelled by kamana, lust, desires. And they believe that just fulfilling these desires itself is the main goal. As long as one lives, just keep on fulfilling the desires and gain maximum pleasures. So as a result, they become very restless. They start performing lots of adharmic activities. They have lots of greed to acquire more and more wealth. And they also become very proud, jealous, and so many other negativities come into their antakarana. They are filled with lots of anxieties and worries. But they think themselves to be great, that I have acquired this much wealth, I will acquire more. I have destroyed this enemy, I will destroy others. I am the great, I am Ishvara, I am successful, I alone know how to enjoy. In this way, their whole vision is distorted, their emotions get totally corrupted, and their actions become very, very negative, foul. So what happens? What happens to them? They experience immense sorrow, pain, suffering while they are alive, but even when they drop the body and go away, they attain lower worlds. That is what now Bhagwan tells in the following verses. So let us chant verse number 16. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha mohajala samavrataha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu cha. Bhagwan says, Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. These asuras, human beings only, asura with asura tendencies, they are aneka chitta vibhrantaha. They are totally deluded with lots of conflicting ideas and thoughts. Ukta prakaraihi anekaihi chittaihi vividham bhrantaha. As described before also, they don't believe in dharma, they don't believe in Ishvara, and they have their own ideas about karma and their how to acquire the wealth, etc. So their mind is thoroughly confused, absolutely muddled. Aneka chitta vibhrantaha. Because when our thoughts are not tuned to the eternal dharma, when the thoughts are not tuned to that which is real, then we get caught up into lot of unreal, fanciful, imaginary ideas. Just as when we want to go to a particular place, and when we know the way, when we know the roads, if you want to find a place in let us say in Delhi, and if you know all the roads and which lane goes where, then you can reach your destination. But if you don't know, then you can get lost in so many lanes and by lanes and all sorts of gullies and all. Similarly, one who have faith in the Shastras and one who follows the path properly, there is no confusion. In the second chapter also we had seen, Bhagavan had said कि व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदना. Those who have faith in the Shastra, their understanding is very clear about their goal, about their path, and they move steadily towards their destination. But one who doesn't have this faith, they get lost in various thoughts and various ideas and emotions. Wherever it's like a cloud, when wherever the breeze takes the cloud, it goes in that direction. Or like a feather or a flower which is taken away by the wind, it can go anywhere the wind carries. Similarly, wherever the thoughts and emotions of these asuras carry them, they go there. There is no stability, there is no direction to their life, nor to their thoughts, or nor to their actions, nor to their relationship. Everything is thoroughly confused. So, aneka chitta vibhrantaha moha jala samavrataha. Bhagavan says they are totally empowered, they are enmeshed, they are covered as though by moha jala, by the mesh, by the net of moha. Moha means indiscrimination, not to understand things properly, avivek, and ajnanam, and ignorance. It creates as though avaran, a jal, a veil in their life, on their vision, in their eyes and senses and mind and intellect is all veiled by this moha jal. It's like a blind person or a person who cannot see properly and is trying to drive in the mountainous region where he will meet with an accident, nobody can tell. Because when the road is not clearly seen and when you drive rashly, it will definitely lead to some accident only. Similarly, an asura person who cannot see the proper path and the supreme goal, who doesn't see the value of dharma and adharma, those who don't understand the difference between pap and punya, those who doesn't understand the difference between cleanliness and being dirty, so that vision is not clear. It's such a person, Bhagavan says, is totally empowered, totally covered as though by this veil of moha, delusion. And prasakta kama bhogeshu, and extremely attached to kama and bhoga. Because that alone is his destination and his goal. kama, to seek pleasures. And those pleasures we can derive only through the body and through the objects of this world. So they utilize their body and their senses to acquire more and more pleasures from the world around. And they use their mind and intellect. The faculty of the mind and intellect also is used to acquire more and more pleasures from this world. So kama bhogeshu prasaktaha, extremely attached to kama and bhoga. Ki only bhoga, 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 only enjoy. Enjoy means gain pleasures. They don't understand that happiness. They don't understand that peace, that tranquility. They have never experienced the joy of being good, the joy of being calm, peaceful, the inner joy, what we call prasada. So they are totally attached to pleasures at a very basic level. So prasakta kama bhogeshu. But however we live, enjoying these pleasures and all, but as a person lives, his body start becoming weak and old. You cannot stop the body from changing. You cannot stop the body from becoming old. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapi namunchati asha pindam. The body becomes old. Sukhata kriyate kama bhogaha rama bhogaha paschad hanta sharire rogaha. They keep on indulging in the various types of pleasures, and then they get different types of disease. And even if there's no disease, then the body starts becoming old, and one has to then leave this body. So when they die, what happens? Bhagavan says, patanti narake ashuchau. They fall into totally dirty, unclean naraka in hell. Because everyone gets the result according to our karma. If our karma is negative, if karma is full of papa, if karma is full of adharma, and if that adharma is more, papa is more, then after death, such jiva goes to naraka only, hell. That is as a result of their karma. Now very interesting. These people may say, we don't believe in naraka, we don't believe in swarga, we don't believe in all these gods, we don't believe in Ishvara, we don't believe in pap and punya. Whatever is there in this life only. I say, we don't believe in all this superstition. See, even those who don't believe in all this, they also go to naraka. Because the swarga and naraka is a fact, is part of this cosmos. And the result of karma doesn't depend on our beliefs. It depends on our karma only. If you do good karma, you get the good result. Bad karma, bad result. It doesn't matter whether we believe in them or don't believe in them. Some people have the funny thing that, now I have changed my religion, I have got converted, now my gods have changed. So all this which was there in the previous religion will not affect me. Doesn't matter which religion you are changing, what conversion has taken place, what beliefs you have. Because what the Shastras are talking about is universal dharma. It is applicable for all. Those who believe or those who don't believe, those who change, those who whatever be their religion, whatever be their background, whatever be their caste, creed, gender, age, whatever be their scientific understanding, philosophies, doesn't matter. Everyone will get the result according to what is said in our Shastras. Because they are universal and they are Sanatan, eternal. And they are the truth. See, they are tuned to the world around. See, like we see the different seasons which are changing. The seasons follow what calendar? They follow the Panchanga. According to the nakshatra, according to the tithi, according to the vara, according to the all the masa, the different seasons also come. See, we see the different eclipse, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. What calendar do they follow? When does the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse takes place? Do they follow the Gregorian calendar, January, February, March? Or do they follow the Panchanga? They follow the Panchanga. The Chandra Grahan will always happen on Purnima. The Surya Grahan will always happen on Amavasya. On Adra Nakshatra it will rain. On a particular nakshatra the whole nature will behave differently. Therefore we have that in order to perform a particular karma we see the nakshatra, tithi, var and we arrive at the right muhurta. So that action done at this particular muhurta will give that result. Even those who do this farming and all, they also follow nakshatra, tithi, var and all, which is the best nakshatra or var or tithi to do that, to plant the seeds, etc. So there are this, what is said in the Shastras are in tune with what is happening in nature. So our beliefs doesn't matter. For example, I don't believe in this, Einstein, or if I don't believe in Newton, and Newton has given this law of gravitation. But I say I don't believe in Newton. I have changed. I have got converted to beliefs of Einstein. But whatever be my belief, the law of gravity is applicable for all. Similarly here, the Asuras may say that we don't believe in Dharma, we don't believe in Ishvara, we don't believe in Punya and Papa. Doesn't matter. Bhagavan says they will also go to hell only. So patanti narake ashuchau, in a very dirty naraka, like Vaitarani, etc. Vaitaranyadau. Because it follows the laws of karma. Further, Bhagavan says, Atma sambhavitastabdhaha dhanamanamadhanvitaha yajante nama yajneste dambhena vidhipurvakam. Bhagavan describes this people, Asuras, because of their actions, because of their behavior, because of their tendencies, because of their convictions, they get the result. We get our result according to our karma and according to our mati, understanding, conviction. Yatha karma, yatha shrutau. What is our karma and what are the what are the tendencies which we have. According to that, we get the result. So if we do good karmas and if we have good attitude, behavior and proper vision of life, then we get positive result. But these asuras are Atma Sambhavitaha. They have great opinion about themselves. Sarva guna vishishtataya atmana eva sambhavita, Atma Sambhavita. They think that they have all great qualities. They are shrewd, they are sharp, they know how to get their work done, they know how to interact with people, they know how to earn more and more wealth, they know how to experience maximum pleasures. So they have a high opinion about themselves that we know, we are great, I am great. Atma Sambhavita. They have puja bhavana toward themselves and think that we have all the great qualities. And stabdhaha. Stabdhaha means very rigid, means no humility. Having no humility, doesn't bend in respect towards anyone. They don't have that humility towards anyone. They don't bend in with that humbleness when they approach a great master or an elderly person or a good person or the devatas. They don't have that. There is great abhiman. सर झुकता नहीं है उनका. Their head doesn't bow down in front of greatness, in front of divinity, in front of purity, because they don't believe in all this. They think themselves as great. So stabdhaha, stabdha hai. No respect or reverence for anyone. Neither in their house, nor in the society, nor anywhere else. And dhanamana madanvitaha, and filled with pride and vanity about their wealth. Ki dhana, mana, dhana nimittaha manaha, madaha, chatabhyam dhanamana madanvitaha. Dhan ka abhiman. Ki I have wealth, I can do whatever I want. And they will use their wealth wherever they find an opportunity to get something, to break the queues, to get special favors, to break rules, to do adharmic activities, to do illegal activities, they bribe, they spread corruption. So dhana मान मदान विताहा, धन और मान के मद से भरे हुए हैं. And yajante nama yajnaste, and even they might do some religious activities like yajna, like puja, some social public spiritual activity, religious activity, but only for the sake of name. Nama matraihi yajnaihi, नाम यज्ञ ही, उसको नाम यज्ञ कहते हैं. For to glorify themselves, they will do some special religious. When they see that everyone is appreciating religion, lot of people are having faith in some devata, lot of people are having faith in some religious ceremony, so they will participate in that and give a lot of dana there and create a big show there that I am the most religious person. It's called नाम यज्ञ उसको कहते हैं. It doesn't bother about the actual ritual or doesn't have faith in the devatas or the yajna, but नाम के लिए wants to do. And the Purohit and all should follow his instruction. Rather than he follows them, he will tell them what to do and how to do and how long they should do and all those things. And dambhena avidhi purvakam, doing all this religious function for the sake of name, and dambha, hypocrisy, in order to show to the whole world, and avidhi purvakam, not following the proper religious practice. Whatever they feel like, they will do. They will change the ritual, they will change the whole thing. They will tell the पंडित that oh ऐसा कर लो, नहीं नहीं ये मंत्र नहीं, ये गाना लगा दो, हमारा फेवरेट है. Oh, don't offer this flower, offer this, don't do this, do this way. Don't invoke that devata, you invoke this devata. So they will do all that meddle in the religious ritual and practice also. So avidhi purvakam vihita anga iti kartavyata rahitaihi, free from the proper procedure of, see, when we do puja, we have to follow proper procedure. There is the Purvanga Puja, then the Mukhya Puja, then the Uttaranga Puja, and all the utensils and all the samagris which are used, they have to follow certain rules, regulations. On what day we should perform the puja, at what time we should perform, we should sit in which direction, who should be sitting where, and who should be doing that Purohit karma. Everything has got rules and regulations. And then only it becomes fruitful. Otherwise, the devatas don't accept the pujas. It becomes avidhi purvakam. It becomes fruitless. See, for every karma, we have to follow the procedure of that karma. Even if you want to cook, you have to follow the recipe properly. If you say, no, I will not follow this recipe, I will do whatever I want, then you will not get the required result. Similarly, for all these religious activities also, there are procedures which one has to follow. But these asuras, they will not follow all this. They will do their own thing. People have all sorts of funny ideas. Even while doing Shraddha and all, people do all their own thing. Say, नहीं मेरे दादाजी को ये पसंद था, so we will do in this way only. And why I spend money in this Shraddha and all, I will you give that money in donation somewhere, or do these other things. Okay, no doubt you should give donation and all, but Shraddha karma is Shraddha karma. It cannot be replaced by other karmas. It should be done according to the rules, regulations given in the Shastra. But Asura doesn't follow all this. Further, Bhagavan says, Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodhan cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Bhagavan says that they are endowed with all this ahankaram. The ignorance which is there about the self gets expressed as our ahankar. Ahankar, a sense of I, an idea of I, an idea of ourself. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he writes, कि अहंकारम, अहंकरणम. अहंकारः विद्यमानैः अविद्यमानैः च गुणैः आत्मनि अध्यारोपितैः विशिष्टम आत्मानम अहम इति मन्यते स अहंकारः. Avidyakyah. Bhagavan says that due to avidya, due to not knowing ourselves, that I am Brahma, this knowledge is not there. So that ahankar, so I have wrong understanding about myself. When I don't know who I am, I imagine myself to be someone else, something else. So Bhagavan says, on the self, one superimposes different ideas, vidyamanaihi, avidyamanaihi, which are there, which are not there, some qualities which are there, which are not there, are superimposed on ourselves, and we think of ourselves as someone. See, this I is different from the body, but not knowing this, they think I am the body. The real I is not a doer of action. Actions are happening in the body, in the karmendriyas, in the prakriti. But not knowing this, I think I am the doer of action. Also the sukha dukkha happen in the mind. They are also kshetra dharma. But not knowing this, I think I am happy, I am unhappy. So lot of illusory, faulty ideas are superimposed on myself, and I think of myself as a karta, bhokta, jnata, deha. So that is called ahankar. It is just expression of avidya. And because of this ahankar, kashtatamaha sarva doshanam moolam. It is the very root of all dosha, all defects, and root of all calamities. This ahankar. Sarva anartha pravrittinam cha tat. And very root of all anartha pravritti, all negative activities. So propelled by this ahankar, they perform various types of activities. Then they have that bala. Bala is also, their strength is also used to destroy others. Parabhi bhava nimittam kama raganvitam, filled with kama and raga, filled with desires and attachment, they use their power and strength to harm others, to destroy others. That type of bala they have. So endowed with ahankar, endowed with bala, and darpa. Darpa is due to that pride, they transcend all rules and laws. Darpo nama yasya udbhave dharmam atikramati. When the darpa comes, they disregard rules, they disregard laws. That extreme pride. Who can stop me? I will go. Who can do anything? I will do it. So that type of extreme pride comes, that is called darpa, due to which they perform negative activities. They transcend rules. So darpam, then krodham, kamam. Kamam, lust. Kamam, striyadi vishayam, lust, physical, towards man and woman. So that kamna, lust. Kamam, intense calm, because that's pleasure. So more the senses are utilized, more pleasure. So in eating and in this lustful sexual activities, they experience maximum pleasure and they utilize their whole energy towards that only. Kamam, then krodham, anishta vishayam, itan anyan, and anger. Whenever the obstacle comes, they become restless, angry. Mahato doshan samshrita. So endowed with all these defects, what happens? As a result of that, Bhagavan says, Mama Atma Paradeheshu Pradvishamtaha. They disregard me who is there in their own heart. Bhagavan says, Kinchate Mam Ishwaram. Ishvara is residing in their heart also, as the Pratyekatma, as the Kshetrajna. Bhagavan says they disregard this Kshetrajna, this Ishvara, this I who is residing in their Antakarana, due to their behavior, due to their activities, due to their intentions, they disregard. Kinchate mam Ishwaram Atma Paradeheshu Swadehe Paradeheshu, in their own body, as well as the Ishvara who is there in everybody else. In other person's body, Ishvara is residing, but they will disregard this Ishvara. Tad buddhi karma sakshi bhutam ma. Who is that Ishvara? The Sakshi, that Chaitanya, that Kshetrajna, that Purusha, that Pratyekatma, who is there in the heart, who is as a Sakshi. But these asuras, they disregard, they are totally empowered by, overpowered by this ahankar, disregard the innermost self, and mam pratvishantaha, and they hate me, Bhagavan says, they dislike me, they express intense disregard towards me. How? Through their action. Shankaracharya ji writes, Mat shasanati vartitvam. By not following the path shown by Ishvara, they are disregarding that Ishvara. See, Ishvara not only has created this world, but has also given us the Shastra to follow and them and live properly in this world. But not to listen to Ishvara, not to follow his dharma, is like disregarding him. Just like in our homes, when our parents say something to us and we don't listen to them and insult them, it's a disregarding them only. So Bhagavan says, such asuras, they disregard me because of their ahankar, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham cha samsritaha, taking refuge in their ahankar, bala, darpa, kama, krodha, and they disregard me in their own body and in the body of other beings. Abhyasuyakaha, and they are finding faults with me, doing my ninda. Guneshu asahamanaha. They cannot bear the good qualities. They don't bear the good path. So they find fault with good path, they find faults with good people, and they disregard Ishvara. So because of this ghor karma, Bhagavan says, they go to Naraka. He says in the next verse, कित्तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजश्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु. Bhagavan says such people, such asuras, tan aham. And what type of asura? Dvishatah, who जो दूसरों का द्वेष करते हैं. सर्वान सन्मार्ग प्रतिपक्ष भूतान साधु द्वेषिणः. They hate these asuras, they hate good people, they hate people who are following the good path. Therefore they create a lot of obstacles in their path also. So whenever the asuras they rise, whenever the asuras become strong, they not only indulge in their own pleasures, but they also spend time in disturbing the devatas, in creating obstacles in the path of the devatas. See, when Ravan and all these asuras had become strong, what did they do? They did not just, Ravan just did not sit quietly in his Lanka and enjoy his bhoga, but he went all over the world and he sent his people everywhere to disturb the sadhus, sannyasis, tapasvis, to create obstacle in their yajna, to create havoc everywhere, to steal, to loot, to plunder. That is how they live. So tanaham dvishata kruran. So such dvishatah, these people who dislike and hate good people, and kruran, who are cruel, krura, who are very cruel to the core. Samsareshu naradhaman, and in this whole world they are the lowest. Naradhaman, adharma doshavatvat. So Bhagavan said, Kshipami ajashram ashubhan asurishveva yonishu. Bhagavan says that I throw them in the lower yonis. Kshipami ajashram. Kshipami prakshipami ajashram santatam ashubhan ashubha karma karinam. I throw them in the lower, dirty life forms. Asurishu eva, the asuric life forms. Krura karma prayasu, where that life, what you call life form, is involved with violent and cruel activities, like Vyagra, Simhadi, Shankaracharya, like lion and tiger and all wild beasts and wild animals, and cruel kitanus and different types of life forms. So they, according to their karma, Bhagavan sends them into such yonis. Either they go to some naraka and all, or they go to some lower yonis. Sound is fine? Can you hear me properly? So, Kshipami ajashram ashubhan asurishveva yonishu. See, Bhagavan is a karma phaladata. And as per our karma, we get the results. If a person does good karma, the good result gains, and Bhagavan is the giver of this result. So Bhagavan here, he says, these asuras, I send them in lower yonis, because that is where they fit properly. That's where they can express all their dirtiness and all their violence and all, because in that life form, that is how it is. And once they become more and more, after experiencing all sorrow, pain, and trouble, then they rise to higher yonis. It's like our dress. See, normally when we wear our dress by the evening, because of our perspiration and all, it becomes dirty. So we wash our dress. But on some special occasion, like on Holi and all, the whole dress becomes so dirty, lot of colors and all. So when it becomes more dirty, we have to wash it using heavy, powerful methods. Normal washing will not help. So it is put through vigorous methods, hot water and heavy detergent, and then bang them with force. In the good old days, they used to, the dhobi and all, they used to ऐसे पत्थर पे पीट पीट के वो कपड़े धोते थे, और ऊपर से उसको होता था उसको, they used to beat that cloth like anything. When you look at them, it will appear as though, Arey baap re, why is he so angry? Hitting the poor clothes so badly, because the clothes have acquired lot of dirt and other things, so it can be removed only through force. Similarly, when our antakarana becomes so corrupted with so much of impurity, anger, jealousy, kama, sadharan is jagat mein, as a human being, when we live, it doesn't get purified. All our sufferings and sorrows and anxieties and all doesn't purify us much. So Bhagwan sends such people to Naraka, वहाँ पर अच्छे अच्छे उसकी पिटाई बटाई करके अंतकरण शुद्ध हो जाता है, गरम गरम तेल में खोलते हुए, whatever. So in the Naraka, the antakarana becomes shuddha. It is sent there for purification, not as a to harm, not to hurt them. That is not the intention, but to purify them. So नरक में जाने से पूरे पाप कर्म जो है वो धुल जाते हैं, वहाँ पर साफ हो जाता है. Or a person is then born in some lower yonis, as a tiger, as a lion, as a snake, as a reptile, as some virus, as some bacteria, where the life is very rough, where the law of the jungle rules. So they think that is the law. They thought of that law while they were human beings, कि law of the jungle. Bhagwan says, नहीं, jungle में ही रहो, and you can follow the law of jungle in the jungle. If the lion is hungry, it has to go out and hunt and kill and eat. And when it becomes weak and all, the other lions will not come and feed it. It dies hungry. It dies miserable. That is the law of the jungle. Might is right. Survival of the fittest. If they are alert and all, they can survive. From where danger will come, nobody can tell. I've seen one video, the poor deer had gone to drink some water, and everything appeared so calm, peaceful. The deer was drinking that water, and suddenly from that water, that a huge crocodile came and grabbed that deer and dragged it into the water and ate it. So such rough and life is there in such cruel yonis. So Bhagwan says, I throw them into that yoni. So they keep on coming back to the samsar. So tanaham dvishita kruran samsareshu naradhama. So this lowest of people, nar adhaman, lowest of human beings, these asuras, they are thrown back into samsara in various yonis, lower yoni, kshipami ajashram, and continuously after in many life forms they have to go in the lower yonis only, and after many lifetimes they get a chance again to become human beings. But if they again continue with their tendencies, then again they go into these lower yonis. Okay? So you must be very tired also listening to all this Asuri people's description given here. But after listening to this, we understand very vividly the negative qualities. And once we understand them, we can drop them. Therefore, this description is there. And it is compared with the Daivi, so that when we see them together, this is Daivi, this is Asuri, we can understand. We can understand the value of the Daivi Sampatti, and we can understand the negativities of this Asuri Sampatti and give them up. So how should we give up? How can we overcome these negative tendencies if they are there? See, as I have said, that all of you who are listening to this Bhagavad Gita, you are born with Daivi Sampatti, but some asuras are still lying here and there. They might be there. They might be weak, but they are there somewhere. So we should wipe them out completely and make the Daivi Sampatti the ruler. See, when this Ravan and Ramchandraji destroyed the Ravan, he destroyed Ravan, he destroyed killed his brother Kumbhakarna also, and many of these Rakshasas and Asuras were killed. But the entire population of Lanka was not killed. Though they were all following Ravana's philosophy, but all of them were not killed. After Ravan was eliminated, Bhagwan made Vibhishan the king, and once Vibhishan became king, all the other asuras also slowly and steadily they also became good and started following the path of dharma. It is said that Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. The Praja, the subject, the citizens, their tendency depends on the Raja. If the Raja is good, the Praja also becomes good. If the Raja is bad, the Praja also becomes bad. So Bhagwan changed the Raja. He made Vibhishan the Raja. He made Sugriv the king of the Vanaras. He did not kill the Vanaras, all the Vanaras. He just killed that Vali and made Sugriv the king. Sugriv was a good person, follower of Dharma, had faith in Ishvara. Similarly, we don't have to destroy the whole Antakarana, but just make the good qualities like Shraddha, Vishwas, Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhihi, Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi, make such Daivi Sampatti the king, the ruler. Then all the negativities will also get transformed. Our Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, any of them surviving, they will get transformed, they will become good. Our tendencies will become good. If the king is good, then all the thoughts and emotions, whichever arises in our Antakarana, will also be good. So how can we make this good? How can we destroy these asuras completely and follow the path of dharma and attain our goal, that Bhagavan will tell now in the following verses. One more verse is there where Bhagavan will tell about asuras, but then thereafter he will give us the solution how we can overcome these negative tendencies and make the Daivi Sampatti the ruler and become and attain the final goal of self-realization. More about this we will see in our class on, day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is Republic Day, so we will also have a holiday. It's a public holiday, so we can also take a break for tomorrow. We can, some of you might participate in the parade, or you can watch the parade on the television and participate in this national festival. We are living in a beautiful, wonderful country, our Bharat, which is very, very divine. And Bhagavan himself takes so many avatars in this country. So we are lucky to be born here, those who are born here. So let us celebrate a Republic Day tomorrow, have a chutti, and we can continue with our class day after tomorrow. Okay? Till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to these pravachans again and contemplate, understand, and implement whatever you have understood in your life. Okay? Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bole Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.